Hey everybody, listen to the Combo Wombo podcast with the Mr. Gimpy and Chipped Monk.
Nice. You gave yourself the intro. You gave yourself the.
That's right, dude. A little tongue twister.
Some zhuzh on it, dude. A little spice.
A little Latin rolling the R's there.
It was more just being a child.
A little tongue tussling out there.
Remember the putties from Power Rangers, like the OG one?
Yeah, the putty patrol, dude.
Yeah. They went out like, like all the time. I was like, no, this is the best.
That was their whole gimmick, dude. They come out.
Man, fucking love the putties, dude. Yeah.
It's a throwback.
Speaking of Power Rangers, man, this is real off topic, but David Yost, the original Blue Ranger, wrote a treatment for the OG Power Rangers to come back, and Netflix picked it up. From what I understand, I don't know if if something will come from it, but it's gonna be like Power Rangers, like fucking 30 years later, dude, with all the entire cast coming back. I know
he had like a
Trini
passed away,
but yeah, because he got bullied because he was gay, and he got bullied on set. Which now we live in a world where people are a lot more tolerant of others, which why wouldn't they be in the first place, right? Like, who gives a
especially
shit?
Like in Hollywood, dude.
Right, in Hollywood. That's right. That's what's weird for me, man. I'm like, what the fuck? When I was reading that, I was like, okay. And I have a buddy whose favorite Ranger of all time is the Billy Blue Ranger, and also he's one of the longest tenured Rangers. It goes like Tommy, of course, number one, because he never stopped being a Power Ranger.
I feel like he's just a jobber, bro. He just like show up in the background. No, Red Ranger. Tommy.
No.
Yeah,
Red Ranger was the leader, dude. How is he?
He was the leader. He didn't do nothing.
He fucking fought Goldar without his fucking suit, dude.
Yeah, and then he would get beat up.
Respect on Jason's name, dude. What?
He was setting up other Rangers, dude. That was it.
Dude. And then he came back as the Gold Ranger, dude. You put some respect on Jason's name, dude. Damn. Because you can tell Jason was my favorite. Like everyone liked Tommy, because Tommy had the Dragon Zord and shit. Then he came back with the White Ranger with the Tiger Zord, which is fucking cool as shit. And Saba, the fucking sword that he could talk to and include. Damn, there's a lot of cool shit in Power Rangers, man. What a wacky time to grow up, right?
Bro, you can buy that Saba sword for like $300, and it like talks and
fuck, dude. They still make it. You can just buy it for $20 at any other store if you don't want.
Like you could get like a replica.
Does the $300 Saba talk to me?
Yeah, dude. Like you can talk to it and stuff. Like,
nah, man. I want fucking AI shit. I want Siri and Saba, dude. That's what I want. It's fucking tell me jokes every day. Like I don't want no fucking bullshit. I don't want to
wake up to Saba.
Shit. Exactly, dude. You know what I want though, and I've always kind of wanted as a kid, and as an adult I can afford it, but I don't know if it exists. The fucking flute from the Dragon Sword. Shit's dope.
It exists. It's out there, dude. Trust me.
Dude.
I've looked at like high-end.
I'm gonna look at this shit, dude. We're gonna get.
I've looked at high-end Power Ranger replica props, dude. Like they're out there.
Yeah. I did want the Zords, the ones that you could actually connect. They're like the fucking Power Ranger Zords, man. They're like the coolest like knockoff Transformer thing, right? Because you can interconnect them, right? Like if you could.
You didn't say combine... Voltron.
Thank you. It's more Voltron than that. But
I don't know. Like Voltron's a ripoff of Transformers too, right? Is that?
No, I think
the same time.
Voltron came first because it was an anime previous to. Because didn't like the manga come out in like the 70s and then the anime came out in the 80s, right?
All right, this is me talking out of my ass.
Transformers like 82 or 83. Yeah.
I vaguely remember now that we're talking about this. I want to say Voltron came out. And then they went to Hasbro for the licensing for the toys. They saw how well it was doing in Japan, and they're like, "Yo, let's do our own shit." Yeah. Which is why, like, you got like the GI Joes and Voltron, where like everybody dies in those like kids shows, so they can reset the toy line like after the big movie. Yeah, they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna kill everybody," and there's new toys.
I'm glad you brought that up. Pro inside information. The reason Optimus Prime died is for new toys.
That was
watching that as a kid, dude. I fucking cried, man, when Optimus died. Holy shit!
It was the main reason why when I was like an adult watching Naruto, after that first
Bro, spoilers,
Hokage,
go on.
spoilers. After the first Hokage in the show
Okay, it's not
dies,
that big. Yeah.
In that end of the first series arc, I was like, damn, this show's so good. Nobody, and it's ruined now. Nobody else is ever gonna die because you can't sell toys of a dead person. And like, sure enough, like nobody dies for the rest of that show. Like all the stakes get removed. Every fight begins and ends with a Rasengan, dude. Like it was like we gotta sell Rasengan toys and
first
frogs.
series. Second
Oh yeah,
series.
you watching Baruto now? Is that
No.
you're talking about
second series,
Shippuden?
Shippuden, yeah. No spoilers. People fucking die. All right.
There's
All
nobody important, bro.
Oh, nope.
I ain't even watching.
You gotta watch it, bro.
Nah, I'm
I'll
good.
message you. No, dude. I'm telling you, man.
It's too much, dude. Like it's such a. There's like 200 episodes of Shippuden.
No,
bro.
no. It's the best, dude. I found this list because internet people are fucking insane.
Yeah.
Of every non-filler episode, and I just grabbed them all, dude. And it's insane because it's like what 300 episodes of Shippuden or something. There's like 170 episodes that are non-filler. it's like
literally
half. Yeah. So
I feel that way. There's I want to say it's like a site or something. It's called like One Piece, like and it's like One Piece, but it removes all the filler and it makes the show stick closer to the manga.
Okay.
And they're insane. So they've gone through and they've edited episodes to make it closer.
Right?
Yeah,
okay.
To make it closer to the manga. They're like, how can we edit this episode and get rid of stuff that wasn't in the original manga? Anime fans are insane.
I will say, like with Dragon Ball Abridged, I can't watch or Dragon Ball Z Abridged. I can't watch Z any other way because I forgot how OG would one episode would be someone powering up for 30 minutes, Yeah. And like you'd wait 3 episodes. Like I remember the Goku Frieza fight, right? Like the abridged version, you watch all of it in like 1 episode, right? The actual version, it takes fucking Frieza 3 episodes to charge up. And then when Goku finally goes Super Saiyan, that was a 2-episode stint of, and I'm like, God damn, I forgot how long this took. But in your memory, you're like, oh shit, that was just some cool ass shit that happened.
Yeah.
Nothing will like match the level of hype I was as a kid when Goku first reached Super Saiyan, dude. Like that shit was nasty.
Now he's touching the realm of the gods.
Yes. Which
Kakarot.
I've only watched the Super
gods.
movies, and I enjoyed those. I won't watch the show till it's complete.
That Broly movie was pretty much a banger. I think it's like one of the highest.
I was just gonna mention that you seen that. That was sick.
I saw it in theaters here, dude.
Did you? Oh shit, dude! You should let me know, man. I'd have gone. That shit's awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. I was like, holy crap, this is crazy.
Broly is one of those characters that whenever there's a movie with him, you gotta see it, right? Like, just like, of course, you're like, I'm there. So dude, that's sick. We're damn, dude. I forgot that we were doing a pod about different things, right?
Selling toys, dude.
Just like selling toys, talking anime, man.
We're pushing this product, dude.
For sure, man. We got to have the Combo Wombo Anime, dude. We got our characters in the back there.
Yeah.
There it is. Spend 3 episodes powering up.
We need like I want to say like street ninjas. Like we need like some sort of like we need our Putty Patrol, our version of the Putty Patrol.
For sure.
So like a legally different version of instead. I don't know, like what's a closer like gray,
right. Morally similar, legally separate, right?
Yeah, it's like you have the hand, and then you also have the foot.
Right. For sure.
It's like what would be that for Putty, dude? It's This is the deep question.
Like Play-Doh?
or like jelly.
Yeah. Jelly something. Patrol. Right.
Yeah. We could have like a
like instead of we can still have them go
Yeah, dude. I don't think you can copyright that, bro.
Yeah, right. You can't copyright. How do you copyright that, right? Because you gotta like write it, right? How do you copyright
This is like a page of that, dude. You gotta trademark that.
Excuse me, Chip. What the fuck is this script? I don't know. Gimpy wrote it. What is?
It's an onomatopoeia, bro. Don't worry about it.
Dude, I gotta work on the script, bro. Next, we got it. This is our arc, dude. We got the Combo Wombo makes shitty putty ripoffs.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. So let's get into it, buddy. Let's let me give my updates first because your updates are better.
All right, what you been up to? You been playing any games? Been streaming?
Yeah.
I haven't talked to you in weeks.
Yeah, it's been a minute, right? It's been a minute. So Elden Ring, of course. That's what I'm rocking out. That game keeps taking hours of my life because I don't realize how long I've been playing. Because I play after the kids go to bed, right? Yeah. So I start at like 9. Next thing I know, I get up to go to the bathroom. It's 4 in the morning. I'm like, God damn, you know. Yeah.
Done.
The game has not lost its luster, dude. I think that's the sign of a truly incredible game is when you're putting in, you know, like 80 hours into it, and people have definitely put in hundreds now, and you're not bored. We have shout out Heart on the Table who completed the game and said it's probably his favorite game of all time. You know,
so there is an end to the game.
Yes, there is.
Right.
There is. It's so big, it's so detailed, dude. It's incredible because, you know, AAA, you've come to expect to be disappointed. You know, you come to expect a buggy game on launch. You've come to expect a non-complete and waiting for the DLC to finish the game for you. This game is all there,
pass.
And on top of that, they just released an update at the time of this recording where they added new quest lines because they were like, this is going to be cut. This is cut content, but everyone's enjoying it so much we went back and completed it. Here you go. New fucking quests, dude. It's awesome. Like for free. Like dude, From is doing God's work out here, dude. So you know, Elden Ring, pretty great. I will say, as far as like streaming stuff, like I said the last 2 weeks, I've been doing Valorant again. Tomorrow, just with the last DLC that came out for King of Fighters, I'm streaming King of Fighters, dude. I'm hyped for it too because we got the Team Garu. So Rock Howard and the Garu people, Gato and Bijane. I'm working on my Deadly Rave. I'm hoping to pull that out online. That'd be sick because as fighting people know, and you probably know too, Chip. That move, it's a super special where you have to input every part of the combo. It's not just a down forward double punch. You know, it's you gotta fucking piano key it and stuff. It's really fun. It's difficult to pull off, but good shit. So, King of Fighters 15 coming on the stream. So
nice, man.
Yeah, dude, I'm having fun. And as everyone can tell here, I finally got completed cleaning up my stream space / my VR space. It was spring cleaning time. It was a lot of stuff. Just, you know, seasons change, and you know, I have a family, of course. So, you know, we take our winter shit, put that away, and throw away what we're not going to use anymore. Bring the spring shit out, and that took some time, but we're all done, man. So I got to play VR last night. I was fucking rocking it, dude. Pistol Whip has a new campaign that all of their Pistol Whips DLC is free, so it just updates with the game.
Is that the game that goes to like the beat, like it's like a song with the gun? You know what I'm talking about? Kind
of, yeah. It's probably there's another game like it, but I'm thinking you're thinking of Pistol Whip as well, dude. The game is amazing. You feel like John Wick. It's so fucking cool, dude. Yeah, it's great. So I was working on the 2089 campaign because it wasn't complete when I stopped playing to, you know, clean up my house. So I restarted the campaign, and it's fucking great, dude. It's like you're going through the Terminator times. You know, it's awesome. So it was fun. There's the second chapter of that. You get captured, and then you're breaking out, and you pull out your gun, and the game's called Pistol Whip, and the guy maker goes, "Oh shit, they took all my ammo. I guess it's a fist fight." So you're like walking up, and you're just punching everything that's coming out at you, and then there's like turrets and shit still shooting bullets at you, so you have to like dodge it for real. I was so fucking sore and tired that I woke up this morning, dude, from that. It was the best.
Did you actually whip anybody with the pistol, like smack them across the face?
Yeah. That's how you have to get through that level, dude.
Just a weapon. It's not just a clever name.
Yeah, exactly. So shout out Pistol Whip devs, dude. They're fucking great game. So Chip, update for you, man. I'm excited for this.
Mostly still been drawing a lot, sketching, staying out of trouble for the most part. I did, after our last conversation, pick up the Oculus. Because you're like, stop waiting for the sale. And I was like, you know what? You're right.
Did you order it online, or did you just go to the store and grab it?
I ordered it online. They have like the same day delivery for most places. So they just
Nice.
dropped it off. But they dropped it off at like the latest possible time. So they give you like a ridiculous like wait window. They're like, it'll be between 2 p.m. and 10 p.m. So it showed up at 10 p.m. And I was like, all right. No, it gave me plenty of time though, because as I was waiting, I watched like some YouTube videos about setting up stuff because I know it's not going to be as easy as just like plug and playing as they make it seem. And then there's like even stuff that didn't show up on the tutorial for the Oculus. Much like I was pretty upset about, but I thought about it for like 2 seconds. And they did the same shit with the Xbox. To finish setting up the Xbox Series S, you need a phone to like input a code. They're like, oh, you have to tie this to a phone. Same thing with the Oculus, where it's like to finish the setup, you have to like download the app and like input a code. I'm like, why does everybody want my fucking phone data? So I like, I downloaded the app, inputted the code, and then I just uninstalled the app. It wasn't that big of a deal. They say you can get an account without Facebook. I think that's pretty much a straight up fucking lie, dude. I could not find a way to make like a standalone Oculus account. When you go like click create an Oculus account, it's like sign up using Facebook. So I think like legally that's how they got around it, where it's like, no, you don't need a Facebook account for the Oculus. You need a Facebook account to sign up for Oculus.
You could set your VPN to Europe because it's illegal in Europe.
Okay.
There's a mod for it. They're not mod, but there's a way around it. There's like a tutorial I can link you. I was actually, since I have the HTC Vive Cosmos, I was looking for a second VR headset for the wife to use so we can both be in VR when we're playing Star Trek Bridge Crew. Yeah. And then there's a submarine game as well, where it's 8 players and everyone has a different part of the sub that they're manning, which seems amazing. So the wife wants to play that as well. So I was going to get a Quest as well, just as a second VR headset, just so she can play stuff too. I
will say, like, off the jump, 10 out of 10 would recommend the Quest too. Like, it's basically the only game in town too, like at this price point. Like, it's a great intro level. It's not as good as I think a lot of people have been hyping it up to be, just because of like the way the lenses work. Like, if you have glasses, they're like, yeah, you should still wear your glasses even if like you're nearsighted. Just the way it works. Like, I could find like the sweet spot without my glasses, but like I was like, I don't need to do this. The way the lenses work, it's like I'm gonna call it like an aurora borealis effect, where they're curved. They're like the curve will like I guess you call like in a video game dev terms like a chromatic effect, where like hit that like RGB like splicing at like sharp pixels. So that'll happen in certain games in certain like areas, which is kind of annoying. And then every once in a while, like you'll get into a game where like the room's dark enough and like none of that shit's happening, and you're like, holy shit, I'm in the game. This is nuts. And I will say like the resolution is fine. It's fine. Like it's like grass is always greener on the other side type of thing.
Right.
Like, you're only going to notice it if like you have like something else to compare it to, and just like off the jump. And like maybe this is also from doing years of art and graphic design, where like I notice like the weird pixely, like missing pixel. Like if there's like a pixel gap in anything, like my eye picks up on that, and like it bothers me. Like I noticed like a red dot like poking like here, and I was like, what the fuck was that? Like that bugged me. Or like a minute where I'm like started looking around like every direction to like but aside from like weird shit like that would only bother people who have like a highly trained artistic eye for it. It's great. Like I can read text just fine. A big complaint is there's like no bed mode to just lay in bed to like watch movies or read books.
Okay.
You can set up apps, so there's like a movie screen mode, and I could like put the movie screen on my ceiling, and I was like, this is great. I can fucking read my comic books on there while I'm in bed.
I've actually never thought of doing that. I read all of my comics digitally. I just have a tablet that it syncs to my computer, and so whenever I get a new comic, it automatically picks it up. I never thought about trying it in VR. That's actually crazy.
It's great.
Interesting.
That's awesome. I don't know. I read like a lot of Korean novels, the manhwa. See, was the one I was I was reading Is This Hero for Real? I finished that. There's only like 24 chapters out of it. It's another
sure.
Isekai style book, and it seems like there's some shenanigans with like the gods that summon these kids to another world. Because he's like, "Hey man, I don't want to do this hero shit. Like I got a family back home. Can you send me back?" And the goddess is like, "Wait, you don't want to save random strangers?" And he's like, "Nah." And he's like, "All right, I'll send you back." Spoilers: he does not get sent back. She fucking throws him out in the boonies in like a forest.
Sure.
So now he's like, "Oh shit!" And he also now has like a curse that's called like Curse of the Hero, where he can't level up.
Sure.
It's okay. It's an okay book. But like the beautiful thing about these web novels is they're just made for like scrolling straight up. So it lends itself really well for like a VR headset where it's just like you just keep scrolling. You don't have to look every direction or anything like that. But
let me ask you this. Think back to when you were playing Half-Life Alyx. How do you remember it?
What do you mean? Like so, playing it?
So if you are truly immersed, you will remember it as like a memory. You won't remember you being in like having a headset on. It's the craziest thing, and that's one of the things where VR for me just clicked, dude. Because when I think back to myself playing Alyx or even other games, Star Wars Squadrons as well, like being in an X-wing for the first time, like was fucking just insane for me, dude. Like looking around and like seeing the cockpit and shit. And yes, I'm in my physical computer chair, right? And I have a HOTAS or whatever, so I'm like holding a joystick, but just being in there and looking around.
I was just about to ask if the HOTAS works with it because I have a flight stick.
Yes.
And I was looking at that game. I was like, damn, this would be fun to play with the flight stick. And now that I have VR, I'm like, damn, it's too bad I won't be able to play this with the flight stick.
No, you can.
Oh, dude.
I know. So like those couple of experiences is absolutely incredible, dude. And honestly, like playing Star Wars Squadrons and like it's like all of your childhood dreams, right? It's like you're doing it now, you know, like brought a tear in my eye, man. Like sitting in a fucking X-wing. Like my favorite Star Wars ship of all time is actually the TIE Fighter. So like getting in there and hearing that engine like scream was so fucking satisfying, dude. I will say the multiplayer is kind of dead for Squadrons. There's just some killers online if you really want to play. But the single player definitely worth it, dude. And for that VR experience, if you pick it up on sale, or actually you should have it for free. Check because you have Xbox Game Pass, so you have EA Play as well, so it's free.
Okay, so I'd pick it up on EA Plus Pass.
Yeah, I'll show you how to grab it. Yeah,
all right.
You gotta jump through a hoop or two, but it's worth, dude.
I saw it like fantastic. On sale for like $20 the other day. Too.
Yeah. If
like
you just buy it, it's fine too. Yeah. Good shit. But yeah, dude, I'm happy you got VR. If the more you play it, you'll probably definitely have, when you think about playing VR games, you'll definitely have it as like a lived-in memory and not like as you playing a game on a TV or whatever. You know, it's such a different experience, man, and that is the beauty of VR.
I will say that it's super disorienting after like an hour or two. Like I was playing like whatever that anime dancing game is, where it's like a Beat Saber ripoff. Because I tried Beat Saber, it didn't click with me from the demo. But you said like the demo's like the worst song in the game.
The worst way to play Beat Saber. Everyone, if you get VR and everyone tells you to buy Beat Saber, just buy it. Don't play the demo. It's the demo is the worst representation of the game. Yeah.
All right. The anime rip-off Beat Saber, I was having fun with that, so I'd probably like Beat Saber. Yeah. But after playing that for like an hour and a half, I took off the headset, and there's like a weird moment
where you go into the real world.
Yeah, you're back in the real world. You're like, oh, this is weird. It's weird being back here. It's like you said, it's like that weird first party memory thing. So
yep, it's insane. I will say, just if you are getting motion sick, people say like about 40 hours in VR total, your body gets used to it if you're prone to motion sickness. I wasn't. I pretty much was fine, and my wife was fine too. So I thought that was a myth. And then every other person that I've gotten into VR has said, oh, I can't play this right now, I'm motion sick. And I was like, oh, maybe I'm weird, you know? So
I only experienced it when I was playing Alyx with movement, where you actually move.
Motion. Yeah.
And I've heard that's like the worst way to play VR games, because like there's something in your brain that says like you shouldn't just be floating.
Yes.
And it hurt. I wouldn't say like motion sickness, but I guess it's probably the same word.
It's your
your car sickness
fucked up. Yeah.
It's like car sick. I would say it's like as close to being like car sick, where if, like, you know, you close your eyes and look away for like a second, like you're fine. like your whatever that ear thing is bounces back out. So I
Yeah.
experienced it when I switched to locomotion.
So
Then
when you, yeah, go ahead.
no, I could do it for about like 30, 40 minutes, and I just took a break.
Okay.
And then I heard from somebody to look out into the distance. So I just like go into my balcony here and just ponder off into the universe and, drink a water and stuff. And I was fine. I didn't,
Yeah.
do any vomit comment situations or anything like that.
So once you get more into VR, you will crave smooth locomotion because it's more immersive. Like I know you're a big like RPG guy too. Skyrim in VR, you probably should experience, dude.
Yeah.
And then you're playing that with smooth locomotion will probably make you sick. But once you get your VR legs, you will crave that. Like I don't want to play any game where I have to teleport. It pisses me off.
Do all the mods and stuff work for Skyrim VR?
Yeah.
All right, shit.
Yeah, actually, I'm pretty sure.
I'm gonna have to get it on the desktop then and like
Yep.
get the high res models and all the glitz and glamours. That'll be like another 100 gigs. There's the problem. The only problem I had with Alex was just how big it is. But damn, that game looks great. Like everything. There's one thing I'll say is like you have to have like high res textures. Like even the fucking Oculus like default. No, it's like the second room because I chose like the cyberpunk room. For like my virtual living room, it has some muddy ass textures in there. I'm like, why would you put like the worst textures possible in this room, dude? Like,
keep in mind too, it's running off of a cell phone, chip and all that too. So, like, I think it's incredible for what you paid for to what you're getting. I think the cost to quality ratio is really on point.
Yeah, they definitely. It's a loss leader. Like for sure, they're not making back money on these. Like it's just to get you on the platform.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because like it seems like Steam's kind of the place to get games for VR. My biggest problem as well is like for Oculus, you can buy your games for just the headset alone, but they also have the link so you can play off of your PC.
Yep.
But they don't tell you that anywhere on their store. So like if you go to the store,
it's like top right, it'll be the little icon. Yeah. So if you're new to it, everyone misses it. Yeah, I get that.
But then they also have a store you can only find by like either if you have the link or if you go to Google. What the hell is this called? It's called Cross Buy.
Yep.
And that'll be on both. So you can get the app on your headset standalone free and on your PC in case you want to like plug it in and play that way.
Yeah. The Airlink thing I was telling you about, you can play with it wirelessly too.
Yeah. And not all the games are cross-play compatible. So just be careful. It's like a buyer beware type of thing. And it seems like there's no discount one way or the other where it's like, oh, if you get it, it's $5. Nah. They're going to trick your ass into having to buy the same game twice.
Yeah, exactly.
They do have like, think like a 14-day refund policy as well. So, and I really appreciate that they have demos available of everything. Cause like, you're like, oh, what games have you bought? I'm like, bro, I've just been downloading all the demos. I've been trying out things. And I would say Half-Life Alyx ruined a lot of these games for me because I'm like, this game just doesn't work. I would also say the other problem is how many different versions of the Quest there are. So there's like Quest, Rift, Go, Gear VR, and then there's like Quest 2, and then like the new Meta one, which is based, it's rebranded. So I think like the controllers are a little different. Because like when I'm trying to move around in those games, like it just doesn't work, which sucks for stand sitting play.
Okay.
Maybe you have to like actually get up and like try and move around in like this space. But like I was looking at the game I got was like a museum one, and I'm like, bro, my living room's not as big as a museum. Like I need to actually be able to move this character around, rotate it, and they're like,
for sure. Damn, man, damn.
It's just little quality of life things,
I gotta say, I'm happy that you got VR. I'm excited to jump into some VR games with you or just hear about your experiences. Glad you're playing Alex. It's like I said, it's the standard. If you can, like, horror games really shine in VR, and I know you're not a big horror.
Yeah, I'm like, I definitely don't want to shit my pants, dude, because you're like telling me about The Walking Dead.
Yeah, dude, it's so good. And I feel so. There's the other game that I was gonna get you, but if you don't want to play because it's a horror themed thing, like I get it. After the Fall, it's like Left 4 Dead VR kind of a thing. It's made by the same people who made Arizona Sunshine, so it seems cool. But we'll see.
We'll see if Half-Life Alyx kind of like breaks me in because there's a lot of like gory
Like the
shit in that
spookiness.
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is kind of nasty, dude. Like,
yeah. Do you have the spider phobia?
not that I'm aware of.
Okay. So you know, like the head crabs in Half-Life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a point in the game uh, where you have to
Head
get an
huggers.
item. You have to get an item in a sewer, and it's like a head crab trap. So just beware of that.
Ah,
That's it's
z-
amazing. Like, but I love that shit. So
yeah.
it's like it's super immersive. But yeah, it might like it put one of my friends off a little bit. He had to take a break because he has the
Yeah.
spider phobia. But
Yeah, that's kind of
crab thing.
the best thing too about VR. And like this is an experimental feature, so you have to go into your options and turn it on with the Oculus. But they have like pass through and like you double tap
Yeah,
and like you're back to reality.
yeah,
So I would say like if you have like issues like or like you're just new to VR, make sure you have on pass through so you can just double click and just get your bearings
yeah,
back.
yeah,
Because like I mean we all seen like the fail videos of people like screaming or like jumping or like falling or like
yeah,
trying to do like a tightrope where it's like if they could have just like quickly double tapped, orient themselves, maybe sit down for a second, remove the headset, and be like, all right, I just need a break for a second.
for
That
sure,
shit got too real.
for sure,
But
for
yeah,
sure.
man, it's definitely a 10 out of 10. I recommend anyone if they've been thinking about definitely get it. Like I put it off for months. We've talked about it almost since the start of the podcast. Where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do it, and then I was like, maybe if it goes on sale. And then I was like, I missed the sale. But when it goes back, and I'm like, yeah. Instant. There's still not the biggest catalog of games, which is weird because a lot of the intro demos
Mhm.
have great one mechanic concepts, like
Yes.
whether they could be like flying a blimp or like stacking blocks or
Yeah.
zapping guns or like interacting with like a robot, dancing with that little robot buddy.
Right.
That was
Right.
fun, man. I was like, this is great. I probably look like an idiot.
Yeah. The best
But
part
also
when you have the
just,
headset on, it doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. It definitely brought me into like that childlike wonderment, like you said, of
Yep.
just being like, I'm here dancing with the robot, busting moves with that, and this is great.
100%, man. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, dude, I'm really looking forward to your experiences and to
From
play some games with you. I'll give you some games in a
from
bit.
just from like developer from that lens,
Mhm.
I think they need to standardize some things like play space. So I think after you define like your play area, like for every game when you start it, you should have to define like a box of like how comfortable you are, like for your movement.
So
So
it does if your play space is set up correctly, and if you're playing older games, they're a little more wonky. But all the newer games, they've done that.
all right,
It
so it's
matches
like
to
all
what
right,
you've
this
set
is
up. It's yeah.
yeah, because I
So
would like something to be like this is high, middle, low, so that way I don't have to like I feel like I'm and then like for reaching out, be like this is like a good because like fuck me if I'm not messing with like door handles. I'm like I know how to door handle. I've been using them my whole life. But like in VR, dude, because like you can't like really move back and like hold this controller while you're doing it. So it's like you end up with the door just hitting you, and I'm like I feel like a fucking idiot.
is playing this FPS called shit, I can't remember what it's called. It's one of the FPS games Zero Caliber, and I was streaming it, right. It was my first time playing it. I've never done a shooting game at the time in VR. I'm outside of Alex, but Alex is a little more easier to get into, and this one was like more realistic. You have to like reload your weapon, like cock everything, and so it's like, okay, reload your weapon. I accidentally pulled out a grenade and threw the grenade, but I didn't take the pin out of the grenade. So I'm like, why isn't it blowing up? So I walk over to it and fucking like glove hands pick up the grenade. And I'm fucking dropping it every time. Like, what the fuck? So I finally pulled a pin, right? And my ceiling, like on my VR area, it's like a drop, so it's lower than the ceiling like above me right now. So I go to throw the grenade, I fucking hit my hand on the ceiling, and fucking the grenade drops down in front of me and kills me. I'm like, God damn it, what a comedy of errors. But only in VR, dude. Only in VR.
Yeah. It's like I said, that would be a great thing for if you're making a VR game. Like I would have it where you have to define boxes where it's like this is high, medium, low. This is only as far out as I want to reach. This is my play space, and just use like actual boxes, like like a collision box, and be like these are areas of collision I want to have happen.
Sure,
Uh,
sure.
and then I would also say like maybe we need to standardize controls as well, like because like when
Oculus has gotten
you
better, but yes, I agree.
yeah, because like sometimes like every button does fucking something different in every single game I've played so far, and like the only good consistent things are like there's like a pause button on the left side and like the Oculus home button on the right side, uh, and then there needs to be a good way to recalibrate your avatar in the game because
It
I'd
should
have
just be
to
a 2-button prompt.
for me I have to go back to the Oculus Guardian mode and like readjust my Guardian to be back in the game. Like it's weird.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So like not I think Half-Life Alex has something where I can adjust in there. And like again, I think like they set the standard for a lot of stuff. The other thing I'd say be aware of is like you almost have to change the way you think about games. I wouldn't put anything in your game that you can't actually use like a real world object, which is kind of mind blowing because I think we take for granted a lot of things that have just like been set dressing in games. So like even in Half-Life Alex, where like I picked up like a book of matches and I'm like, I want to click it open. I want to pull out a little batch and you can't do it. So like, even if like yeah, so you should be able to like just do that. There's like a part where like I picked up like a full beer bottle in Half-Life Alex, and I'm like, oh, there's beer in here. Let me try and open it up. And it's like there's no interactivity. And I was like, I'm gonna use this gun. I'm gonna click off the tab, and I go to do it, and like the bottle just smashes open. And I was like, well, that's actually accurate. You know,
Yeah.
like you try to do it. I mean, like, yeah, because there's so much other stuff. Like you're telling me about like messing with like a spoon in a cup or whatever, and like.
Yep.
I was doing that early on with like buckets in my gun where I was like, I'm going to use this bucket like a silencer. This will be hilarious. And I was like, you know, messing around with that. There's points in that game where like you see like a ladder in the alleyway and like, I'm like, oh, this is obviously how I solve this problem. Cause there's like a little bit of a hurdle right there. I'm like, I need to pick up this ladder, set it up and just climb over it. It's like, nah, dude, this is just a set dressing. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I could set it up and like walk across. Nah, dude, don't. So like I spent like 15 minutes like trying to look like an asshole grabbing at things on my floor that aren't there, and that I can't interact with in the game. So I don't know. It's just something to be aware of, man.
Yeah. But,
if you're making VR games,
I'll say like the medium's still so new where everyone's learning still, and Alex definitely sets a bar. If you ever get a chance to play the Walking Dead game, it reaches the same bar Alex reaches. They're the best 2 VR games right now. So yeah, dude, I'm happy you got VR. We gotta we spent a lot of time on that. Let's get to the topic at hand today, man. Bro. Topic at hand today: Wrastlin games.
Wrastlin.
It's inspired by the Chip getting really into AEW the last couple of pods. We're like,
new Wrastlin games.
The AEW game should be released at the end of this year. Actually,
they got 2 out. They got AEW Casino. Double or Nothing.
Yeah, does not count.
Elite General Manager.
Yeah. We're not talking about the bullshit mobile games. We're talking the real
cash grabs.
Fucking, grab the thing. So the AEW game is being developed by Ukes, who used to be Aki, who made all of the wrestling games you loved from the past. They made the WrestleMania 2000. They made No Mercy. They made WCW versus NWO. They made Rumble Roses. They actually co-created Def Jam Fight for New York with EA Canada. So
it's wrestling.
So
but with professional rappers instead of professional wrestlers.
Exactly. So what are some things that... So I've been out of the wrestling game scene for so long because part of it was I got out of wrestling, right? I just kind of grew out of it. And then as I got older, New Japan pulled me back in. Now AEW keeps me at least looking at pay-per-views or the big events. And I got to say, being back into it and going to look at the games has been a struggle because the games for WWE have been kind of bad. And by bad, I mean, they're trying to be simulations, which I like my wrestling game to be over the top, Yeah. The Battlegrounds game that came out last year was way too simple. Was it WWE Superstars? That was like about 10 years ago where everyone was like super cartoony and everything was over the top. That game was fantastic.
Man.
Like what I like from a wrestling game is yes, have all of the moves. Yes, have like some sort of system for doing like a grapple system, but easy accessibility and like pick up and playness should be a priority. I don't want to have to learn, and because this is so weird coming from a fighting game player, but I don't want to have to learn like 18 different systems just to do a simple DDT.
Yeah.
But
For me, it goes into I want the escapism, the fantasy. So it has to have a really good creative character. It has to have a solid story mode or custom story mode. And I like, even if I'm not doing a custom guy, like if I'm playing like one of my favorites, I want to see their story unfold in kind of a natural ways. If things are happening. That being said, I'm kind of like in the same boat as you, where like I fell off of wrestling probably after the Attitude Era, like towards
most people
towards this peak, like 2002 Legends of Wrastlin 2 is for the OG Xbox. I think we talked about it, which is I think what inspired this episode. That game was a fucking hot mess, but it looked amazing at the time. Like, I feel like the only competition, like there was like WWE SmackDown, shut your mouth, dude. The Road to WrestleMania, dude. Like, you had like Fire Pro Wrestling, like all those games look like asshole compared to like Legends of Wrestling. The problem was Legends of Wrestling played like ass. Like, so yeah, there's definitely just a stagnation that's kind of happened with like, especially like the 2K series, where like it's been like an unplayable broken mess. Like even like one of the better reviews I saw for the new 2K22, because I was thinking about like picking it up this week for this pod. I was like, this would be a perfect excuse just to get this game. They started like reading the reviews, and like people are like, it's good, but that's about it. Like there's nothing else.
Here's the thing though, it's been so bad for so long where it's good is great for it right now, right? So
I feel like that's the state of WWE, bro.
They skipped a year because the game was so bad and buggy, dude. They skipped 21 to do this. So like I said, I don't really care for the simulation style. I like the way over the top stuff. That being said, I would
designed by committee, bro. They did like surveys online to be like, what's the features you guys wanted that like wasn't in the last one? Everyone was like, we want the simulation, we want the general manager.
They got the GM mode back,
we were like, we want that back, and they're like, all right, you guys got it. But I think like people like you and I who aren't as deep into the fantasy world of sports entertainment. Like we don't give a shit about that stuff. Like I don't need like my GM thing like being updated online based on like real world stats, which is weird because it seems like all the people who like AEW want that to be in the new AEW game. They're like, oh, and it's, I think you can blame AEW for that though, because they put like on their website and stuff like people's wins, losses, draws, like they have like their fight history.
Though. So I mean,
so like they've already kind of like put that up for themselves, whereas I feel WWE has never really been about like a fantasy league type of scenarios. So.
No, that's true. It's nice having more than one game in town. I think the reason why wrestling games have been so shit is because WWE has been the only game in town. Like competition breeds, just greatness. When like we grew up in the Attitude Era, where why we had the Attitude Era, because they were trying to top WCW, and we had two great wrestling shows to watch, right? Like I was definitely a WWF kid growing up. I love Stone Cold, love The Rock, like Team Too Cool, Hardy Boys, all that shit, and Dudley Boys for sure. Like Dudley Boys are my favorite tag team, but
Dudley, get the ladders,
get the tables,
get the tables,
so
get the chairs.
So the thing with that is, like, I always loved like the tag team wrestling, like if we both got WWE 2K22, I would want to do like a co-op thing where you and I would be either creator wrestlers or characters. It would be fine. Do a campaign, right? Just get us the titles. I think that'd be super fun. I don't know if they have that, but I feel like stuff like that's missing, because they have like online like leagues and stuff where you can do tag teams against like two other people, which would be pretty fun. But I always feel like the 2K series especially just stopped short of a lot of cool things you could do.
They definitely removed some of those features, like you said, where it'd be like fun for like to create our own characters and like have that for the tag team. I tried that because they had it briefly on Xbox Pass, and I was like, "Oh, let me get into this. I'm gonna make me a scout. This would be a great intro gimmick." And it's like, you can't do that in this one, bro.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
"God damn! I just wasted like an hour making me in this like a facsimile of me and my buddy in this game."
Right.
Right. Put them both in like a custom intro. So
Yeah.
There's like an insane amount of customization, especially like in the WrestleMania 2000 game, where like you could do the intro, the moves, like how you wanted to come out, how you wanted your ring appearance to be, what you would do if you won, if you lost, your taunts, your everything, man. Like whereas like the newer games, they're just like nah.
Yeah, man. And I feel like that's what AEW has done to promote their brand and to sell their brand, is they are not targeting the current wrestling fan. They're targeting the lapsed wrestling fans such as us, who have not been enchanted with WWE's product, who watched like New Japan. They bought Ring of Honor, you know, so if you want you know, that style of wrestling, you're getting it over here in the States with AEW. And
they're also
WWE
doing like
has come back too and got New Japan, like Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles, of course. The women's division's actually great now, with Sasha Banks, Bailey. You know, just like great athletes are in both companies, and now that there's competition, it's definitely getting better.
I say the best thing too about AEW is like they're doing actual contractors, right? So like you're being contracted for the fight, so you can still go fight in New Japan or Ring of Honor or Impact. You're not like exclusive, whereas like WWE's like lock people down to like super exclusive contracts, but they're like, oh, you're not employees, so we're not going to give you like anything like a health insurance or anything like that. You have to pay for that shit yourselves. But you can't compete. Like you can't go anywhere, you can't do anything. Like we don't want you starting an OnlyFans or being on Twitch or
which is insane, right?
Yeah,
like
having a YouTube
like
channel.
Contractors, but you don't have anything for yourself.
We want control over your social media presence.
Yeah, and they buy the naming rights to you. So if WWE created your name, they pretty much own it. That's why like people like AJ Styles owns his own name, and he's been so big where you can't rebrand AJ Styles, you know, shit like that. So
you like him or hate him, I think that's one of the major things like Hollywood Hogan did for the scene, was like he was like I want to say like he had a background in like print and copyright before like he went into wrestling.
I actually don't know much about him after like before wrestling. That's insane. If it's okay.
And so like he realized like he saw people at concerts because he would like work helping like sell concert merch, and so he was like when he got to wrestling, he was like, "Yo, can I bring my own T-shirts and merch to like sell?" And they're like, "Are you gonna cut us in on this?" He's like, "All right, I'll give you like X amount." So he cut like a deal with like whatever promo he was doing. And then when he got up to I want to say like WWF. They're like, all right, you gotta let us do everything, and he's like, all right, bro. He's like, all right, brother. But then like they took care of I think like a lawsuit that they ended up getting into with the Incredible Hulk, the Marvel property.
Oh, because they're
like
Hogan,
that's where you get like Hulkmania or like a Hollywood Hogan, where like but like he wanted to like maintain the rights to his name and stuff though, because he was like, you're leaving so much money on the table. And so like younger guys would get in and they'd be like, how come Hogan's gonna see his checks? And they'd be like, you're making all this money. It's like, yeah, merchandising rights. I own my shit, dude. So it helped him out early. And then I think it hurt the industry as a whole later on when he got into like WCW, because like he had like a fucking ironclad contract where he's like, he could choose like which fights he'd want. So he'd be like, yeah, I'm going to win the belt here. I'm going to take on the belt. And they're like, oh yeah. So like, he's like, who's popular? Oh, NWO.
Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, the Outsiders, and
the jobbers from New York with this, they come out with the mouthpiece and never wrestle. All they did was run their mouths, never wrestle.
Oh man. So, time of recording, Scott Hall passed a few days ago.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Scott Hall. Yeah, dude. Hey, yo, just a lot of good shit, man. So I gotta say, man, it's Big
out of the hospital.
Yep. He doesn't need surgery. Did you hear? So that's good.
All right,
good.
yeah.
So
that's great.
it's a earliest 3-month recovery, so he'll be back. What's that, June or so, right? So like, because recovery plus rehab, right? So
Yeah.
like 3-4 months. So he'll be back June, which shout out there. But I will say there's a lot of wrestlers now that I really enjoy. Like I said last week on the pod, I really enjoy like the New Day, Big E, those guys. My favorite wrestler in WWE right now is AJ Styles. AJ Styles, Finn Balor.
Is he the champion?
Not right now. He might be Intercontinental right now.
Has he been?
He might. Yeah. He came
All
up
right.
and he was like a two maybe 3-time world champ, dude. Like AJ Styles is the fucking best, dude. Like, why wouldn't you put the belt on him?
Yeah.
Vince, who doesn't like putting the belt on people he didn't create, knows you can't fuck over AJ Styles like that, dude.
I want to say
He's
it's
the
like
shit.
the rumors like he just doesn't like small dudes too, like
That
people
too.
who aren't.
No, that is not a rumor. That is true. But AJ Styles is
he's
too much of a fucking G.
6'5". I don't even want the belt around your waist.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
dude, I with the games, man. Just I think you're right. Customization, and just expressiveness. Because what are the best wrestling games for you? For me, I'd say like No Mercy is number one for me. Def Jam Fight for New York was number 2, and the Capcom one was that Saturday Night Slam Masters. Is that Capcom? I think that was them, right? Those was probably number 3. Those are all like
the mayor. What's it?
Yeah, it's like they're all really arcadey. Like the thing with wrestling is it's escapism, right? It is real life escapism where people are doing crazy flips in the air and like you're picking up people and throwing them on their head and stuff. Well, you shouldn't be throwing them on their head, but you know what I mean. Just hitting people with chairs and stuff. It's this crazy fantasy world that you're watching people do in real life, and you could do that in a game. Like don't give me a simulation, because I could see this shit in real life. In a game, up the ante.
What do you feel about like the backyard wrestling with the Insane Clown Posse, the game that came out? You remember this?
I remember it coming out, but yeah, he just mentioned a couple of things where I'm like, nah, I'm good.
I want to say there's somebody right now working, like it's an indie dev, and they're working on like a real life physics, like animations,
Stars
like
of wrestling.
where you like go through like crazy amounts of tables and like all the like everything you said, where you like upping the factor by 10, where it's like we're gonna put like a 200-foot drop through like 30 tables. Where it's like, okay, I don't know if I want to play this, but that sounds all right. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, man. I think for me, just if I can see that in real life, I'd expect to be able to do it in a game, but I also know that it's a game. Give me something a little elevated, right? Like you could give me all of the regular moves, fine. But if I'm going off the top rope, like don't give me human jumping heights. Give me a fucking elevated video game height,
Yeah.
So that's what it is. So I think right now where I'm disenfranchised with wrestling games, and I hope it's coming back. Like with the AEW game, Ukes is doing it, who was the former Aki. They're creating it, so they really struck a balance between simulation and arcade. So I think that they could do it with AEW. And the 2K guys, it's still a little too simulation for me. But I think they're learning to incorporate just the casual part. Because I don't think you're ever going to get like, no one's going to be a pro at WWE 2K, right? Like you can be really good, you can be number 1 ranked in the world, sure, but there's not going to be a pro scene around it. Let's be honest. Just make the game fun. Just make the game fun and accessible. That's for me.
For me, man, like growing up, it was WrestleMania 2000, the WWF one. Sure. You want to talk about like outlandish shit? I was into ECW Hardcore Revolution. Well, that was basically almost. I want to say, I have nothing to back this up. I want to say it was almost like a reskin WCW versus NWO Revenge. I don't know.
I've never played the ECW.
It felt like game. It was, dude. It felt like it was definitely like a reskin game where I was like, damn, I'm pretty sure I played this game before. Royal Rumble 2000 was okay. It was no WrestleMania 2000, so it just felt like a cash grab. They did pretty much the same thing. And then, yeah, man, I would say I'd like to see Capcom take another crack at a good wrestling game. That'd be all right. Okay. I know, what the fuck? What is that anime everyone was into with the wrestling dude? People love that game.
Real Ultimate Muscle?
Yeah, the muscle dudes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Real Ultimate Muscles.
They
Are
had the
pretty good.
GameCube
Like,
game that was great for
yeah,
that. I can't believe we didn't mention that. Like, that game was great.
yeah. There's a lot of
Yeah.
this is you like actually start like going down like the history. Like, fuck, there's actually been a ton of wrestling games. Like a lot of
Yeah.
people have taken a crack at it, but it kind of like you said, like after the Attitude Era, when the WWE started like pulling up and buying a lot of these older properties like ECW, WCW, NWO, like getting the names, getting like the brands, getting the library of
Yes.
stuff under one roof. There's no competition, and they're only promoting the main brand, and that's kind of what they still do. Like there's like the promo that the one wrestler did where he mentioned AEW. He's like, "Oh, you didn't think I'd mention it?" And then like they cut it from like the replay of it.
Pretty sure that was that John Cena. I'm pretty sure
they like edited it out of like whenever they re-show it, they fucking Stalin his ass where they went through and like erased like any they're gonna take people out of photos and stuff, dude. They don't give a F, dude.
So I looked up the ECW game. It was a copy of WWF Attitude and Warzone.
Boom. I told like I've just this just my child brain. I was like, I've played this game before. Without even playing it. But I owned ECW and I had rented, I think, Attitude, and I was like, I'm like, is this Attitude? This is Attitude. What the hell?
Just with better graphics, right? And different people, for sure.
It's the same graphic, bro. Let's be real. It was just like a straight palette swap, and like they changed up like some of the moves to fit better with ECW, and they added in like stuff, more wild stuff that ECW was known for like tables, ladders,
barbed
like
wire matches and shit. Yeah.
Which is they kind of did the same thing early on too. With I want to say that like arcade game with Razor Ramon on the cover, where like he would like uppercut actual razors.
WrestleMania, the arcade game. Is the best.
So they would do like magical shit like that, like where they try to be more like Mortal Kombat, which is why I'd like to see like somebody like Capcom come back and like with the updated like Street Fighter engine, like take another crack at it. Just
be interesting.
It would be great. It would be great. Like, why not? Like, you have like a limited roster. You already have the engine. Like, you palette swap that shit in like ECW. You bring back is that Hagar or Hogar, the mayor?
Yeah, Hagar. Yeah.
Mary. Was it Mayhem? Was his ring name or some shit like that?
I can't remember.
It was pre-mayor wrestler becoming a mayor. Well, never happened.
Is SNK and Capcom could do Capcom versus SNK just wrestlers, like because they have so many. Truthfully, it'd be crazy. Like Armika as well, and Zangief, who's like Greco-Roman, but you can just fucking throw him in there. Who cares?
I want to say Konami did a banger of a wrestler game too.
They could. I don't know.
They did one
like, for so long. I can't even remember.
They have one somewhere, like in the cankles of my memory.
The main
event.
Boom. Yep. I just looked it up. So I've never played that. It actually kind of looks like Butthole, but it came out in 1988, so that's probably why.
No, there was a more recent one that they published.
Okay. Interesting.
Like, and by recent, I mean like in the 90s.
The last like 30 years. Yeah. Oh shit. All right, bro. Let's comes to the end of the pod, man. Anything you want to end on?
I said wrestling's a fertile ground out there for like any developer if you're thinking about just mixing shit up, dude. Like it seems like all the bigger names have gone more towards mobile and like trying to get the gotchas money there. They're chasing that illusory whales and leviathans out there. I don't know, just make a good wrestling game, like
the illusory whales and the leviathans.
That's right.
I love that you're bringing the poetic mastery of Moby Dick. Oh man, you got some Herman Melville fans in the pod that's just like fucking just rooting for you, man. Oh, it's awesome.
Oh man, any closing thoughts on
Yeah, bro, go read Moby Dick. That's a great book. It's not one of those books that's it just has a bunch of hype and then you read it, you're not impressed. It's legitimately a fantastic tale. But yeah.
The whale of a tale.
Dude, Moby Dick. Man, we'll be back next week, guys. I'm Mr. Gimpy. Right over there.
Chipmunk.
We are the Combo Wombo Podcast. Thanks everybody for listening. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you next week.
We
Take
out.
care, everybody. We out of here.